दृष्टुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहम्. So the gas molecules are insignificantly small material particles, are identical in nature, occupy the total volume in the space. Then M, they undergo random motion in all possible directions with very high velocity. To explain the random motion, I explain you, they come and go, ascend, descend, stop not, repeat such incessant motion in all possible directions with very high velocity. This explains the homogeneous character of or omnipresent character of the gas molecules in their whole volume they are occupying. Then comes collision. The gas molecules are always under a state of elastic collision. Means they undergo collision among themselves and again the walls of the container. Suppose you have a container, there is a container, and in this container the gas molecules are there. So one molecule will collide with another molecule, then this will change its direction, it will go and collide here, again change the direction, it will go and collide here, again change the direction, it will go. Like this they undergo collision. So they undergo collision among themselves and against the walls of the container, and that is elastic, means there is no change in magnitude of their velocity or the energy, because the gas molecule has a mass, it's moving at a velocity, it has its kinetic energy. So due to the collision there is no transfer of energy take place from one molecule to the other molecule. That remains constant, PMCS size. Then comes the size. The size of gas molecules is insignificantly small. Insignificantly small in comparison with the space they occupy. So it's a very blessing of the divine to the humanity or to the animal and animal kingdom. Suppose these gas molecules have a size. What will happen? Suppose a teacher goes to the class, all the boys and girls they are standing outside. Then teacher will ask, why are you standing outside? Go. No sir, we have gone. The gas molecules are sitting on the bench. Think. How can we sit? Because they are always taken the seat. That means they are not visible. They are not felt. We do not feel their presence. When gas is present in the whole room, but we are not feeling the kick of the gas molecules on us. We remain nothing. They do not occupy any space. They do not occupy any space. Their size is insignificantly small. The molecular diameter is about 10 to the minus 8 centimeter. The molecular diameter is about 10 to the minus 8 centimeter. So one can very easily imagine what is the size of the gas molecules. So then PMCSP, pressure. The pressure is defined. As force per unit area. Force per unit area. Means this P is the pressure, and what is this? The total force by the total area the gas molecules occupy. So that total force and that area we divide, the result comes, that is the pressure of the gas. What is this force? Because the gas molecules have mass, have velocity, they are moving in random, undergoing elastic collision. Because of this intermolecular collision against the walls of the container, a force arises inside. And the total force that arises inside divided by the total area of the container or the space, the total space, that is the pressure of the gas. So every gas has its own pressure. If you keep a barometer in the room, the barometer will give us the 760 mm or 76 cm or 75 cm or 74.5 cm. It will be giving us the pressure. So that is the pressure. So this, because of their elastic collision, because of their random motion, all this in total, its effect is the pressure, and that pressure is measured as force per unit area. So every gas has its pressure. Whatever the gas that has its pressure, the pressure may change. When the volume will change, the volume is inversely proportional to pressure. If the volume increases, the pressure decreases. If the volume decreases, the pressure increases. The volume of the gas is inversely proportional to pressure. And this volume of gas is directly proportional to temperature. So the temperature is inversely proportional to pressure. The volume is inversely proportional to pressure. The volume is directly proportional to temperature. So if you take this, the temperature is inversely proportional to pressure. If you have a low pressure somewhere, you feel in your area, outside you will feel a temperature, you will feel hot. So this is the effect. So they are interrelated. The volume of the gas, the pressure of the gas, the temperature of the gas, the three coordinates, just like x coordinate, y coordinate, z coordinate in the space to explain the position of a particle in the space. So here also the three coordinates the gas has, one is volume, one is pressure, and one temperature. They are closely interrelated. They are closely interrelated by law. This is called the Boyle's law. We will read and this is called the Charles law. This is the law. they go by, they obey the laws. Ideal gas, they obey the laws. So this pressure comes out because of the force per unit area, and that force comes from the intermolecular collision among themselves and against the walls of the container in which the gas is kept. So we have discussed P, M, C, S, P. Now comes F and T. So this 6 is the force. What is this force? Intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction among gas molecules is negligibly small. Negligibly small. There is no intermolecular force of attraction among gas molecules. That's a very wonderful thing. Suppose if there is a force, intermolecular force among the gas molecules, all of us must have been tired while walking from one point to other point. Why? Suppose the gas molecules are attracting each other and moving. So when you go, the gas molecules are there. There is a force of attraction. So what we have to do? We have to go on doing this like this. We have to walk. Always you feel that some people are there, just like they are in a queue. They are going in a queue, moving in a queue. Like we are not feeling that. We are moving in very freely. We are We are not exercising any force while our motion from one point to the other point. That confirms us there is no intermolecular force of attraction among gas molecules. PM, CS, PF, T. Then comes the temperature. Temperature. What is this temperature? Now temperature is the T. It comes from what? The kinetic energy. The gas molecules have mass, they have volume, they are moving in a volume. The gas molecules are moving in a, they have mass, they are moving in a volume. So when they move in a volume, the gas molecules, they move in, they have volume. They are moving with a high velocity. So they have the kinetic energy. And this kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature of the gas. For example, I have my palm, they are like this. If I keep my two palms, nothing, no heat. But the moment I take my palm and rub it like this, within some minute time, I get my palms are warmed up. So because they have mass, this is a mass moving. So their kinetic energy is converted to, this mechanical energy is converted to heat energy here. So when you strike one rod to the another rod, you get a temperature and light. So there the energy is transformed into light and transformed into sound and transformed into heat. So this kinetic energy that is there in the gas molecule, they are proportional. This kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature of the gas. If we increase the temperature of the gas, the motion of the gas, the velocity of the gas molecules will increase. When the velocity will increase, half mv square will increase, and automatically the kinetic energy will increase. So these are the fundamental properties of a gas molecule, and P, M, C, S, P, F, T, and these properties of the gas molecules, they constitute all the behavior of a gas. Now we will study. This is the idea I want to give you. The reason because I will be teaching you the gaseous state. There I will again teach you this, the chapter called Kinetic Molecular Theory of Gas. Just I want to get a picture in your mind. You have passed from class 10 and you have come to class 11 to study. So you do not have such idea about a molecule. Molecule is a molecule. Atom is an atom. But what is that molecule? What that atom is? That things, if you want to visualize in your mind, if you draw a understanding, then you will be feeling about it. The moment you understand, you will feel about it. This understanding is important, very important. This. So then comes what is called heteroatomic molecules of a compound. We are coming the homoatomic molecules. Now will come heteroatomic molecules of the compound. So molecule of a compound. So the molecule of a compound are heterogeneous. What is that? They have heteroatomic, not heterogeneous. They are heteroatomic molecules. Means carbon dioxide. You see carbon. This is a solid, and this is black in color. And when this combines the two atoms of oxygen, it combines. This is a gas, and this is colorless. And when they combine, they form a compound, carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is a gas, this carbon dioxide is colorless, and this is neither combustible nor supporter of combustion. So this is a carbon dioxide is a molecule. Here what is the carbon atom? So according to Dalton's atomic theory, atoms of combining element undergo chemical combination to produce the molecules of a compound. The atoms of combining element undergo chemical combination to produce the molecule of a compound. The molecule of a compound does not exhibit the elementary properties. You see, this is what? Combustible. Carbon is combustible. Black, solid. Oxygen is a gas, colorless, supporter of combustion. But carbon dioxide is a gas and colorless. Colorless plus black should be black, but colorless. and it is neither combustible nor supporter of combustion. So what we conclude here, so during chemical combination of the atom of the elements to form a molecule of a compound, they lose their elementary properties. They lose their elementary properties. Why they lose elementary properties? Because they are not in atomic state. Here in carbon dioxide, carbon is not present as a carbon atom, oxygen is not present as oxygen atom, it is present as a molecule of carbon dioxide. You should understand this. In carbon dioxide, carbon is not carbon, oxygen is not oxygen. It is a molecule of carbon dioxide. Means in carbon dioxide, carbon do not have its independent elementary existence. The oxygen do not have elementary existence. Why? Not because they are not in atomic state. Who is responsible for the property of the element? We have read in Dalton's atomic theory, the physical and chemical properties of the elements are determined by the atomic properties. The atoms are responsible for physical and chemical properties of the element. In carbon dioxide, the carbon element is not present in atomic state. The oxygen atom element is not present in the atomic state. It has gone to which state? A molecular state. It has gone to, for example, Gautam Buddha. The Gautam Buddha, the enlightened one, he was the son of King Sudhodan, and his name was Siddhartha. He was in the palace, and once he saw what? A dead body. Asked his security, what is this bhaya? Why these people are crying? Now their relation has died, and what they are carrying? A dead body. Where from they got it? Now somebody has died. Now will I die? Yes, you will also die. I will die. Then he saw an old man. What is this? Who is he? Now he is an old man. Where from he came? No sir, he was there also like you, as young as you are, then he grown adult, then youth, now the old man. He is not able to walk. What will happen to me? Will I be like this? Yes, you will like this. So these are the elementary characters. So he thought, why sudden like this? Then quit, then went for meditation. After meditation, he got the enlightenment. Then he came as Buddha, the enlightened one. The desire is the cause of pain. So there is no desire, no pain. Started the Buddha Dharma. The Buddha religion they started. So here, if you come to the Siddhartha, was the prince in the campus. Now the Gautam Buddha is the saint. So change, the metamorphosis. So there you will not find the character of the prince, and here you will not find the character of Gautam Buddha. So that I want to tell you, during chemical combination, the atoms of the combining element lose their atomic identity. They lose their atomic identity. They attain a molecular state. In the molecular state, they do not exhibit the properties of the element. Another example, let me take to explain you how this molecule, for example, sodium. The sodium combines with chlorine to form the sodium chloride, which you call as a common salt. Now this sodium is a silvery white metal. This silvery white metal, very light, very silvery white light metal. And what is chlorine? This chlorine is a gas, colorless gas. What is sodium chloride? This sodium chloride is a crystalline salt, white crystalline solid. So you see, now when you take sodium, put into water, it will explode, it will produce fire, it will produce sound, the water will become alkaline. If you take sodium, put into water, there will be a reaction. The sodium will react with water, violently will react with water, and it will produce fire, light, it will produce light, it will produce sound. The water will get the temperature hot. Now you put a litmus, red litmus, this will become blue. So we say that when sodium is put into water, it forms a new compound, sodium hydroxide, which is basic. Now if you take chlorine, is a gas. If you allow the chlorine to pass through water, it will dissolve, very nicely dissolve. But what that has a property of vanishing color. It has a bleaching property. If you take chlorine, put into ink, the ink vanishes. And that is you will have a chlorine. If you see the bleaching powder, when you have it produces atomic chlorine, you get a pungent smell. So same smell you will get in the chlorine. Both are, so chlorine is present in sodium chloride, sodium present in sodium chloride. But the moment sodium chloride you put into water, this dissolves, no sound, no change in heat, there is no light. If you put blue litmus, it will remain blue litmus. If you put red litmus, it will remain as red litmus, neutral. You will not find this. So sodium chloride contains sodium. Sodium chloride contains sodium and chlorine, they combine to form sodium chloride, but in sodium chloride, sodium is not sodium element, chlorine is not chlorine element. Why? They are not remaining in atomic state. Both of them, they combine to form, gone to another state that is called in a molecular state. So I want to tell you, my students, that in a molecular state, the atoms of the combining element do not exist in their atomic state, hence they lose their elementary properties, they exhibit the properties of the compound. So that is the difference between an atom and different between a molecule. So this atom and molecules, any compound you take, the moment the atoms of combining element, they take part in chemical combination. So during chemical combination, they lose their elementary properties. Total elementary properties they lose, they get a new type of property. For example, hydrogen is a gas, sulfur is a solid, oxygen is a gas. Two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of sulfur, four atoms of oxygen, they form a molecule of sulfuric acid. Molecule of sulfuric acid. Two atoms of hydrogen, one atom of sulfur and four atoms of oxygen are present in sulfuric acid. What is hydrogen? A gas. What is oxygen? Is a gas. What is sulfur? A solid. But what is sulfuric acid? A liquid. Corrosive liquid. Hydrogen is not corrosive. Sulfur is not corrosive. Oxygen is not corrosive. But sulfuric acid is corrosive. So this happens. So all these things I want to tell you, I want to convince you that in a molecular state, the atoms of the combining element do not exhibit their elementary properties. So that is what is called atom and what is called molecule. Now what is atom? Now if you come to another particle that is there, I want to tell you what is called ion. Another particle, that the meaning of the word ion. This is a word you must have come across in your school. You have read ion. Atoms. What is atom? Atom is electrically neutral. What is electrically neutral? Atom is neutral. It is neither positive nor negative. Neither positive nor negative. Then what atom consists of? Atom consists of the two fundamental particles called electron and proton in it. Electron is negatively charged, proton is positively charged. Number of protons are always equal to number of electrons present in an atom. Hence, atom is electrically neutral. If you come to hydrogen atom has one proton and one electron, so it is neutral. If you come to oxygen atom has 8 proton and 8 electron, hence oxygen atom is neutral. If you come to chlorine atom, it has 17 proton, 17 electron, and chlorine atom is neutral. So atom is electrically neutral, means atom consists of 3 fundamental particles: proton, electron, proton and neutron. The proton is positively charged, electron is negatively charged, and the neutron has no charge, that is called neutral particle. See, this proton, and every atom has equal number of protons and electrons. The number of electrons are equal to number of protons, that is known by a atomic number. That is called the number. Atomic number is a fundamental property of the atom of an element, which is an ordinal number which is equal to the number of protons or electrons present in the atom. So now if you take a atom, if you have taken an atom, here number of protons are equal to number of electrons. Now when this atom loses an electron, if you take out an electron from the atom, it forms a ion, positive ion A plus. It forms a positive ion. Suppose this atom is A. This atom is A. If we take a electron from take out the electron from the atom, this forms a positive ion. This forms a positive ion. This is called ion. This is called positive ion. Similarly, when we take an atom and add an electron to that, so this forms a negative ion, A minus. So this is a negative ion. Why? Now here number of protons are equal to number of electrons. We have taken out one electron. So number of protons are more, number of electrons are less. Hence proton. For example, you come to sodium. Sodium atom, you have read in school, it has 11 protons and it has 11 electrons. Sodium atom has 11 protons and 11 electrons. Now if you take one electron from sodium atom, then what will happen here? Sodium atom, there are how many protons? 11 protons. How many electrons? We have 10 electrons now. Then 11 positive charges, 10 negative charges. Then what will happen here? One positive charge. So here you get the positive charge. You get a positive charge. So this is called sodium ion. This is called a sodium ion. Or if we come to a chlorine atom. Chlorine atom has 17 protons. 17 protons and it has 17 electrons. The atomic number of chlorine is 17. So number of protons are 17. Number of electrons are 17. Now it will lose an electron. Suppose if you add an electron to this, if we add an electron to this, then what will happen? Protons will be 17, but electrons will be how many? 18. If you add an electron to this, number of electrons will be 18 and number of protons will be 17. Then what will happen here? There will be one negative charge here. So the chlorine now becomes Cl minus ion. So this is a chloride ion. We call this as a chloride ion. Chloride ion. So this positive ion is called as a cation and negative ion is called as anion. So if you come to this, when an atom loses or gains an electron, the ion of the atom is formed. The ion of the atom is formed. When it loses electron, when the atom loses electron, forms positive ion called cation. When it gains electron, when it gains an electron, forms a negative ion forms a negative ion called anion. And it's called cation. That means when you have an atom, this atom is electrically neutral, and to this atom, when this loses an electron, it forms A plus, is a positive ion, and this is called cation. And when this atom A, we add an electron to this forms A minus, negative ion, this is called anion. So children, cation. So the moment a student will write cation like this, instead of you write like cation, we are writing like this. Suppose one boy will write cation. Cation means ion made up of cat, or a ion produced by cat, not that cation. Cation is one word. Don't give gap between them. Cation is one word. Why? Means it is an ion, means a charged particle moving to cathode. It is moving to cathode. What is cathode? A negatively charged electrode. Suppose if you take a cell, and it has two metal rods connected to a battery like this. It is the positive part of the battery, negative part of the battery. So this metal rod connected to positive is called anode. It is positively charged, and this is called cathode. It is negatively charged. So the positive ion will come to where? To cathode. Positive, oppositely charged attracts, like charges repel. So all positive charges will come to where? To cathode. So the ions, they moved, so it is negative. So who will come here? A plus will come here, A plus will come here, A plus will come here. And who will come here? A minus will come here, A minus will come here, A minus will come here. So this negative ion comes to positive electrode. What is positive electrode? Anode. Hence it is called anion. But if a boy will write like this, anion, N-ion, means one ion, N, one ion. The moment you leave a gap, this becomes one ion. So that's not that. The ions which move to the anode, they are called as anion. What is an anode? Positively charged electrode. Who will go to positively charged electrode? Negative ion will go. Hence anion is negatively charged and cation is positively charged. So we have three types of particles in each. One is atom of the element, one is a molecule of the compound or molecule of the element, and ion of an atom or ion of combination of atoms. So these atoms, ions, they are called as radicals. So next classes, coming classes, we will read what is valency and how to write the atoms. We will write their symbols. Next class I will teach you what is the symbol of elements. Then we will read the valency. Then we will read the radicals. That will give us a very good idea of concept of the chemistry. So next class we will reading what is the symbol of, how to write the symbol of elements are written. Thank you very much.